Good morning, Assalamu alaikum class 7. I am your SST teacher. Students, as you know, today is Monday. So from today onwards, we are going to start our week 10. And in this week, we are going to complete our chapter Kublai Khan. We have done the introduction of this chapter, in which we knew and we studied about the character of the Kublai Khan. Let us have a quick overview of our previous lesson. In our previous lesson, we discussed that Kublai Khan was the fifth great Khan, and he was the grandson of Genghis Khan, and he was the one who laid down the foundation of the Yuan dynasty. He established his empire in the China. He defeated the Song Empire. Song Empire was the government or the rule of the Chinese in the China. He defeated them and he established the Yuan dynasty there. And then we came to know that he was the first ruler who was non-native. Non-native mean he was not born in China. He was not born and bred in China. He was born outside of the China. He was not Chinese. He belonged to Mongolia. Then he invaded the Song dynasty and he defeated them and he established his own dynasty there. Students, in the earlier part of this chapter, we came to know that Kublai Khan, in order to be the Khan of his tribe or the Mongolia, he had to fight a war with his brother. The good part of this war was that he won the war and he became the great Khan. However, there was a bad part too. It was that the Genghis Khan worked very hard to establish the unity among the tribes. But when the grandson of the Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan, fought a war with his own brother, it divided the Mongolians into the tribes. So it affected the unity of the tribe. Right now we are going to start our next topic, Kublai Khan's policies. Today we are going to discuss what were the policies or what were the methods of the Kublai Khan. Kublai Khan was very different from his father and from his grandfather. The Genghis Khan, if you remember, he was a very good warrior. He was very brave. He knew how to fight wars. He fought many wars and he won them. However, Kublai Khan, he was more of an administrative person. Administrative mean he was not a military person. He was not into wars. His knowledge was more about administrating, was more about managing the state. Another reason for this is that he was given a huge empire by his father and his grandfather. It was a great empire. So there were lesser chances for him to conquer more and more land. So instead of attacking more and more areas, what did he do? He focused on managing and administrating the area that was under his rule. Because his father and his grandfather gave him a very big empire. It was a very large empire, so it was very difficult to administer it, to manage it. So what did Kublai Khan do? He focused his attention on consolidating or on governing the empire. He focused on this part of the government. It was Kublai Khan who made transition from the nomadic culture. Nomadic culture, when people or tribes keep on moving from one place to another, they do not settle in a single place. They keep on moving, they keep on living from one place to another depending upon the condition or the climatic condition of that place. He converted the nomadic culture to an effective rule of settled diverse. Settled mean when people live in a single place, they settle themselves there, they make their houses, they invest into a single place and they do not move from one place to another. However, Kublai Khan could not avoid military engagements. There were few military engagements, there were few military adventures or military incidents that happened in his time period. Let us look at those engagements. In Kublai Khan's time period, his forces or military fought a war and they defeated, if you look at this, the southern Sung dynasty of China. It was into the south of China and the name of this dynasty was Sung dynasty. Kublai Khan defeated them. However, in his time period, the forces also faced the defeats. They faced the defeats against Japan and Java and against Abbasi Mamluks of Egyptian. The forces of Kublai Khan defeated from Japan and Java and Abbasis of Egyptian Caliphate. Kublai Khan shifted his capital from Karakoram in Mongolia. Karakoram is the same Karakoram range that is right now found in Pakistan, between Pakistan and the border of China. The capital of Mongol Empire was here in this Karakoram area. However, Kublai Khan shifted the capital from Karakoram to the modern day city of Peking, as he recognized, because he was living in China at the moment and he was governing China at the moment, so it was easier for him to administer or to look at the matters from the China. So he shifted his capital from Karakoram to the Peking. It is the Chinese city. And then Kublai Khan worked and he promoted the Chinese culture, because of which the Chinese, they were fond of him, because he did not go on destroying the Chinese culture. Instead, he focused on accommodating it, on promoting it and letting people live their life according to their culture. Here is the image. Please look at it. You will see, students, the dark green color, this and this. This is the Mongol Empire when the Genghis Khan died. This whole area was the Mongol Empire. After the death of Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan came into the rule, and if you look at this image carefully, like the light green and the dark green, all these areas. Now this is the Mongol Empire. When Kublai Khan died, Mongol Empire grew from this to this. That is how vast the Mongol Empire was. And right now, because we are studying the Yuan dynasty, which was in China, if you look at the red line, this is the Yuan dynasty. Yuan dynasty, the one which was being ruled by the Kublai Khan. However, this is the whole empire. This was also being ruled by the Kublai Khan. But in the previous lesson, we came to know that because he was living in the China, so his main rule and his main focus was on to the Chinese areas, and this was the boundaries of the Yuan dynasty. Dear students, that was all about the Kublai Khan, his empire and his way of ruling and his about administrating skills. This is your written work. Kindly look at the question. How was Kublai Khan different from his father and his grandfather? I have discussed the answer of this question in the video. Please listen to your lesson carefully. You can take the help of your book if you are having any difficulty, but if still you are unable to write the question, please do let me know. Thank you, students. Take care.